Welcome to the Walter Pyramid for the Long Beach State men's basketball home opener. I'm Bruce Kuntz alongside JayDe Beaudry, and you are listening to 22 West Radio. The Beach will look for their first win of the year as they host Illinois State in this one. The Beach have lost their first 3 games of the year, but it was a narrow defeat last time out. On the road against Pacific and former Long Beach guard TJ Wainwright, Chris Acker's unit led for over 25 minutes, but the Tigers made a late comeback to win 69-66. Freshman guard Gavin Sykes has stood out so far for Long Beach State. The 3-star recruit leads the Beach with 10.4 points per game and tallied his first 20-point game last time out. Also keep an ear out for sophomore forward Petar Mastarovic. The Syracuse transfer leads the Beach in rebounding, but hasn't had a breakout scoring game yet. JayDe, this Illinois State squad is one of the better mid-majors in the country, and they've got their eyes set on a deep run in March.
Well, Bruce, it has been 27 years since the Redbirds last appeared in the NCAA tournament, but the word around Normal, Illinois is that this is their year. In an era of college basketball where mid-major stars are quick to hit the transfer portal, head coach Ryan Peden has transformed Illinois State into the rare exception. Last season, the Redbirds fell short of the big dance, but made the most of their postseason by winning the College Basketball Invitational. And what happens next is what makes Illinois State special. What could have been the last hurrah for a great team hitting the portal instead turned into a rallying cry. Aside from 2 graduating seniors, every single member of last season's roster has returned in 25, including Missouri Valley Conference first-team selection Chase Walker and Johnny Kissinger, who combined for a record-breaking 1,042 points in 2024. With talent returning around the floor, this new-look Long Beach State team will certainly have their hands full today with a team that hopes the last slipper is going to fit in March.
It's a completely different tale for Illinois State with how much talent they got back compared to Long Beach. Long Beach with 13 newcomers out of the 14 players on the roster. Derek Michael Exaviero, the junior forward, the only returner for Long Beach State, and he hasn't been in the starting lineup at all for the Beach so far. So Long Beach State with a brand new operation. It's 2 true freshmen that have been important players so far. Gavin Sykes leading the way in scoring, the only Beach player with over 10 points per game so far. And then another true freshman, Dallas Washington, has gotten the start so far. He's coming off the bench today, but he still figures to make an impact.
Yeah, this is Long Beach State team still trying to figure each other out. We saw some improved signs, especially on the defensive side against Pacific, but a big second half run is what doomed the Beach against the Tigers, hoping for a reversal of fortunes today.
Here in the Walter Pyramid for Long Beach State's home opener, there was some doubt whether it would be able to be played here, as there's been rain this weekend, and the last 2 days games have had to be played in the gold mine, but they made it back here for Long Beach State's home opener. For the Beach, their starting lineup: Cole Farrell, Gavin Sykes, and Isaiah Lewis, 3 guards in the lineup. Leopold Levalan and Petar Mastarovic, the 2 forwards. For Illinois State, they've got Tyreek Coleman, Johnny Kissinger, and Bowden Skunberg as 3 guards. Another guard is Ty Pence, and then 1 forward in the lineup is Chase Walker.
Chase Walker is the one to watch tonight. He is the leader of this team. Illinois State hopes to keep him out of foul trouble and keep him on the floor. If they're able to do that, Walker will have a big game.
We've got the tip. It's Levalan against Walker, and Walker wins it. So Illinois State will get the first possession. Long Beach in all gold uniforms, black numbers and names. Now we've got a whistle. The clock started a little late. Redbirds wearing all gray uniforms, red stripes down the side, and Redbirds across the front in cursive lettering.
Great uniform matchup today. Love it when the Beach can play in these all gold uniforms. A great deviation from the traditional black and white we see here in the Pyramid.
So the officials getting the clock figured out here, make sure that everything is set up right for the first possession of the game. Now the whistle blows again. Our referees today: Irvin Wilson, Jeffrey Mulholland, and Jeff Campbell. Up at the top, the Redbirds getting the first possession of the game. Coleman dribbles to his right. The freshman picks up his dribble and now goes up to the top. Pence swings it around the wing. Kissinger tries to go past to Walker. It gets poked loose, but then he tracks it down on the elbow. Walker looks for a pass, tries to throw it back door, but it goes out of bounds, and it's going to go to Long Beach State. Walker thought there was a tip, but instead it's a turnover, and the Beach will get their first possession.
Long Beach State so far this season have been really good at starting games strong on the defensive end. That time, active hands from Leopold Levalan and Petar Mastarovic are able to force the turnover. Now
we're going to get an overruling here. A couple of the officials got together and discussed. It's going to go back to the Redbirds. It was tipped out of bounds by Long Beach State.
So that's those active hands we're talking about. Leopold Levalan does get a touch, and now the Redbirds put 3 low and 1 high off the inbound.
And now we've got another stoppage. It looks like they might have another time issue.
Time issue, making sure everything is all set. This is the home opener in the Pyramid, so technical difficulties from our side of the floor as Long Beach State still tries to figure out what's going on their end. As we mentioned, still looking for that first win of the season.
Long Beach 0-3 to open the year. Illinois State at 1-2. This Redbirds team is predicted to do well this season. They were first place in the Missouri Valley Conference preseason poll. Inbound pass goes straight into a midi for Skunberg, and he knocks it down. The Redbirds are on the board with their first 2 points.
Bowden Skunberg missed last year due to injuries in his graduate season, now hoping for more minutes as the Redbirds chase that Missouri Valley Conference title.
Another whistle as the shot clock didn't reset. It shows 6 as the Beach were dribbling it across the timeline. So all kinds of difficulties with the clock here early on. They'll look to get it fixed so the Beach can have their first possession.
Yeah, rough start. Long Beach State loves to play games where they're able to go end to end. These stop starts, we haven't even gotten through 30 seconds here in the first half. There have already been multiple stoppages. Chris Acker in his second season recruiting an entirely new lineup, hoping to build something at this program for many years to come after last season finished with a really, really rough stretch.
They're resetting the shot clock to 20. 10 seconds definitely had not come off yet, but that's what they're going to do. Peter Masturovic passes it in to Lewis. Isaiah Lewis, the guard, passes back to Masturovic at the top. Syracuse transfer gives over to Sykes. The Beach's leading scorer passes up to Levelon at the top, swings over to the right wing. Lewis dribbling up at the top, 7 to shoot, gets a screen on the right side from Levelon. He drives along the baseline, goes to the corner. Here's a triple for the Beach, and he knocks it down. Petar Masturovic, the Syracuse transfer, with a 3, and the Beach are ahead by 1.
Petar Masturovic didn't have his best game last time out, but that's what Long Beach will want to do all afternoon long. Methodical ball movement, finding the open shooter in the corner.
And now, would you believe me, another whistle as the shot clock did not reset. So we've been more whistles than possessions so far.
An odd stat, definitely not one you want in your home opener. As for Petar Masturovic, he's the vocal leader of this team. Nice to see him get involved early. A great shot, wide open from the corner. He's able to knock it down. Long Beach State lead 3-2.
Masturovic averaging 9.3 points per game and leading the Beach with 7.7 rebounds per game so far on the young season. Skunberg will pass it in from the sidelines. The Beach with a hybrid full court press on here. Not getting pressured. Coleman gets it in the backcourt. Now getting double teamed just ahead of the half court stripe. He gets it up to Skunberg. Swung across for Kinziger. And then he gives right back to Coleman. True freshman Coleman, the MVC opening freshman of the week. Dribbles over to the right wing, gets a screen, now passes up to the top for Pence. He swings along the wing for Skunberg. Goes over to Kinziger, gets a screen on the right side, goes back across. Here's a triple for Pence. No good off the front of the rim. Offensive rebound for Skunberg. He goes back out for Pence. Drives in, floater with contact, no good, but a foul. It's going to be 2 shots from the free throw line for the junior Ty Pence.
And how about the offensive work on the glass from Skunberg? Goes up above Isaiah Lewis, rips the ball down, recycles. Illinois State worked quickly to draw the foul and get their first trip to the line tonight.
Ty Pence rocking the reverse Grinches, Kobe basketball shoes. Takes a couple dribbles, a 6'6" junior. Goes ahead and knocks down the first free throw. Pence has started all 4 games this season for the Redbirds. Only played 11 minutes in their matchup with Cornell, but in the other 2 games where he's gotten regular run, averaging 11.5 points per game. Pence's second free throw up and through again, so it's 2 for 2 on that trip to the line. Redbirds ahead 4-3. Isaiah Lewis taking the ball up for the Beach. The junior hands off along the wing to Cole Farrell. Farrell, the Portland State transfer, gives a bounce pass to Petar Masturovic. He's on the right block, back to the basket. He goes to work now. Spin move on Walker. Now passes it over to Sykes. He's got space. Triple from the left wing. Knocks it down. The Beach hit their first 2 long-range shots of the game, and it's 6-4 Long Beach State.
Gavin Sykes, a moment of hesitation, then he pulls the trigger and knocks it down. The Beach 2 for 2 early, 6-4 lead.
Redbirds set up their offense. We're 2 minutes into this first half. Beach ahead by 2. Pass goes up to Kinziger. Just to Walker in the high post. Coleman cuts around. Walker still with the ball. Takes 1 dribble. Now hands off to Skunberg. Skunberg drives. He goes up and gets a foul. Lewis had a block, but just enough contact. Gets the whistle. It's going to be another 2 free throws for the Redbirds.
Yeah, Isaiah Lewis, the most minutes played on this team. He's going to be on the floor a lot tonight. He's the primary ball handler for Chris Acker. Gets a little too physical down low. They're going to want to keep him out of foul trouble here early on. Illinois State is certainly inviting the contact in the paint.
Bowden Skunberg's first free throw is good, so it's 6-5. Isaiah Lewis, one of 2 Lewis brothers on this Beach roster, both newcomers. Isaiah gets the start, and then his older brother Emmanuel begins the game on the bench. It's 2 for 2 on that trip to the line for Skunberg, and we're all tied at 6. Isaiah Lewis still running the point for the Beach. Farrell comes up, sets a screen. Lewis dribbles past it. Now Levelon sets a screen. Doesn't create much space. Lewis puts it up to Levelon at the top. He gives to Sykes. Then sets a screen on the left side. Sykes hesitates, crosses over. Now goes over to the right. Midi is good. Gavin Sykes hits his first 2 shots from the field. He's already got 5.
And a solid screen from Leopold Levelon to create that space. The Beach in a full court press now.
Coleman able to break it. Kinziger gets the pass and then gives right back. Tyreek Coleman, the true freshman, standing 6'2" on the Long Beach logo, gives a bounce pass to Walker over on the right wing. Walker drives on Levelon over towards the baseline. Now he passes up to the top. Hesitation, now drives, steps through. Coleman lays it up and in with the left hand. A good hesitation move creates the space, and Coleman has a bucket. We're all tied at 8. Lewis on the other side gets a screen from Levelon. Drives with the left hand. Goes to the corner. Here's a triple for Farrell. No good. Levelon, offensive rebound. Now they're tied up. A foul will be called on the floor. Good fight from Leopold Levelon, the true freshman from France.
Yeah, Leopold Levelon, the 6'9" forward, native of Montpellier. He's had a lot of foul trouble through these first few games. He's got the raw talent and the raw skills. Chris Acker is still trying to refine and get those basketball talents out of him. Great work, though, to pull down the rebound and draw the foul. The Beach will inbound in a box set 4 around the key.
DMX and Shaq Bender both sub in now for Long Beach State. Levelon heads out alongside Cole Farrell. Beach running the inbound play from the baseline. On a bounce, it goes to Majstorovic. He puts it up, but a whistle blows. The shot missed, but the ball was dead before the shot.
They're going to call a foul on Ty Pence there, working against the 7-footer Derek Michael Xaviero, recently subbed into the game. A bit physical there, up towards the free throw line, trying to create space.
DMX just shy of 7 feet at 6'10". Nobody taller than that on the roster for the Beach. Inbound pass goes to DMX. He goes right to the corner. Bender pulls the triple and knocks it down. Nothing but net for the graduate student, Shaquille Bender. Beach ahead by 3.
Shaquille Bender coming off a huge game against Pacific. Has the Beach up once again, 11-8.
Redbirds trying to break the press. Across the timeline, it's Skunberg, and he hands off to Coleman. 10 seconds into the shot clock, Coleman dribbles over towards the left side, gets a screen from Walker on the right. He drives into the elbow, passes up to the top for Pence. Pence goes down low for Walker, barely got it. DMX now working on Walker. Walker goes up and lays it through with the left hand. Good move in the post. He spun a couple times and then laid it in. 11-10 Beach. They set up their possession on the other side. Bender on the left wing, the Manhattan transfer, gives up to the top for Xaviero, the only returner for the Beach. He hands off to Lewis. Lob! Xaviero blew the layup. A good lob from Lewis, but Xaviero can't put it through. On the other side, here's the Redbirds. Skunberg with space, hesitates, drives to the free throw line, kicks back out. Kinziger over towards the right wing, and he slows it down. 10 seconds into the shot clock. He's got a switch here. Goes to work on Majstorovic. He drives. Kinziger goes up, off the glass, no good. Rebound comes down for Majstorovic. A lot of contact. The Beach wanted a foul. Now they're on the other side. Xaviero gets the pass and knocked it out of bounds in transition. It's a turnover for the Beach, and now we hit the first media timeout, 11-10. Long Beach State ahead.
Yeah, DMX ran the floor really well. Majstorovic pulls down the rebound, and the forward is calling for it. It was Shaq Bender who made the pass. Xaviero then swarmed immediately, unable to control, caught between 2 minds, and Chris Acker not happy. A big transition opportunity here early on to help pad that lead.
Long Beach State ahead, 11-10. They're 3 for 4 from beyond the arc to get things underway. We'll be right back on 22 West Radio. Long Beach State with an early lead, just less than 5 minutes into this first half. It's 11-10 Beach. They've shot well from the floor so far, JD.
Yeah, Long Beach State, they really need to define their offensive rhythm throughout these first few games, and it's going to come through methodical ball movement. Long Beach State likes to work down the shot clock. They like to pass it around the perimeter. Those off-ball screens we're going to see from the offense tonight are going to be so critical to finding open shots. Long Beach can run in transition. They certainly have the size and speed, but if they're able to work a possession down and get the shot they want, they are going to be in a groove all night long.
Beach heading back out onto the floor here in their home opener, taking on Illinois State. This Redbird squad is 10th in the collegeinsider.com mid-major top 25 poll, so a valiant opponent here for the Beach. Long Beach State picked to finish 8th in the Big West preseason poll, so they have a lot to prove this year, coming off a season that ended with 15 straight losses last year. Redbirds with the ball coming out of the timeout. They're trying to break the Beach press, passing it around in the backcourt. Now Kinziger with the ball barely crosses the timeline. He's getting doubled, gets a pass away though. With it, Kleibo drives, kicks out. Skunberg drives into the paint, gives a bounce to Walker. Couple of pump fakes. He goes up through contact. No basket, but a foul. It's going to be another 2 free throws. Redbirds already going to have 6 free throws after these 2 from Walker.
We mentioned Chase Walker's foul trouble early on this season, and really last season as well. Averaged 7.4 fouls per 40 minutes. This time he's the one who gets fouled by Derek Michael Xavier, with the 2 bigs clashing down in the paint. That's going to be a matchup to watch all night long, as Illinois State loves to play through him.
Walker's the left-handed shooting big man. His first one bounces in. Shooter's touch there for Walker. 6'9", 280. Walker is an absolute unit in the front court for the Redbirds.
Yeah, and Illinois State 5 for 5 on free throw attempts to start this game. They're only a 50% free throw shooting team on the season.
Second one up and through. It rims around and falls again. So it's 12-11. Illinois State now ahead. Inbound pass goes to Lewis. Gave to Majstorovic. Now Bender comes up just across the stripe to get it. Gives right back to Lewis. Beach pass to Bender. Back to Lewis at the top. He finds Majstorovic right at the free throw line. He's got space. He pulls the midi. No good off the right side of the rim. And now a whistle blows. It's going to be a foul against Illinois State. DMX gets active on the offensive glass. And he got Bowden Skunberg to push him out of the way. DMX had positioning, and the Beach will get a second chance on the possession.
Skunberg isn't small, 6'5", but he gets that low leverage on DMX, and he's a bit too physical. Grabs a fistful of jersey as well, an easy call for the officials to make.
Isaiah Lewis will pass it in from the baseline for the Beach, just to the right side of the basket. Screen gets Sykes some space in the corner. He gets the pass, but then dribbles up to the wing. 15 on the shot clock as we eclipse 5 minutes into this first half. DMX takes one dribble, now needs a handoff, gets to Majstorovic, and now another foul gets called against the Redbirds. Defensively, Mason Kleibo getting handsy, trying to fight through the screen.
Mason Kleibo, the native of Fargo, North Dakota. Just 6 minutes in each of the first 2 games coming out of high school. A 4-time first-team All-State in North Dakota.
Inbound pass goes to Bender, who hands right back to Lewis. Screen from DMX. He works open. Lewis instead takes the mid-range shot. It rims out, and the rebound finally secured by the Redbirds. On the other side, Skunberg passing up to the top. Now Walker comes up to get it in the high post. Goes to work on DMX. Back to the basket. He spins through. Half spin. And he goes up in the paint with the left hand. No good. It's tipped up in the air, and then the Beach come down with it. Lewis has the rebound through a tight sea of bodies. Bender passes to Sykes. Right back to Bender. He pulls the triple. No good off the back iron. Kleibo tracks down the rebound. It's 12-11. Illinois State. 6 minutes into the first half. Kissinger has it. He takes the midi, and it's good. Johnny Kinziger is going to be the main ball handler for the Redbirds today. He's on the board with his first 2 points.
Yeah, and Long Beach State has gone cold from the field. A 6-0 run now for Illinois State. No buckets for the Beach in the last 2.5 minutes.
Xaviero to Lewis on the left wing. Lewis goes to Bender up at the top. Chris Ackert directing traffic from over here on the sideline. Bender passes down low to DMX. Back up, Majstorovic finds Sykes. Wide open from the right wing. No good on the 3. Walker tracks down the rebound. The Beach with a nice sequence of passing there, but they can't knock down the open shot.
It took time to get that possession started, but once the Beach got rolling, nice passes, another open shot that just rims out.
Now a foul gets called against the Beach. Lewis was trying to fight through an off-ball screen that Walker set for Skunberg to get open, and we'll hit the sub 14. Or buzzer sounded. Thought it was a media timeout. Instead, it's just a sub. Christian Jones is coming in for Long Beach State. First time we've seen him tonight.
Jones alongside Rob Diaz, so new ball handlers in the game for the Beach. New guard combo to look out for. guarding the perimeter as well.
Shea Johnson also in the paint. Claybo passes over to the wing. Here's a quick triple, and it rims around and falls. Johnny Kinziger with back-to-back possessions with points. It's 17-11 Redbirds. Rob Diaz now handling for Long Beach State. Just in front of the logo. Bender gets a pass on the left wing. Some off-the-ball movement. Bender now goes up to the top for Johnson Jr. He flips it over to Jones on the right side. Jones hesitates, now passes over to Bender. 10 to shoot. Bender drives over towards the right elbow, picks up his dribble, now goes to the corner for Jones. He steps back, takes a long two. Did he get behind the line? It is a long two, but he hit the shot. A tough one there on a step back. Christian Jones knocks it down.
Yeah, that ends the 3.5-minute scoring drought, ends the 9-0 run for Illinois State, but the Beach still down by 4, 17-13.
Redbirds break the press here. Claybo drives into the paint, passes back out to the wing. Driving is Wolf. He lays it up with the left hand and puts it through. Johnson was right there, but good navigation through the paint by the redshirt senior, Landon Wolf. 19-13, Redbirds over the Beach. Driving here is Bender. He pump fakes, goes up through some contact, and barely kissed the front of the rim with his floater. It's a miss, and the Redbirds have possession back. Kinziger across the timeline. He hesitates, now crosses over, kicks to the corner. A triple, no good off the back iron. Couldn't knock down the shot that time was Doherty. Diaz with the rebound, and he takes it all the way across. He hesitates, gives to Johnson Jr. at the top. Shea Johnson hands off to Shaq Bender. Bender takes a jab step, dribbles through the legs, gets a screen, now takes a two from the elbow, and he hit it off the back iron. Good shot there from Shaquille Bender.
Shaquille Bender coming off 13 points against Pacific. Loves to get those mid-range shots to fall. Long Beach still pressing full court, still down by 4.
The Beach sticking with this full court press defense. Diaz pokes it out of bounds. Nice pressure there as Claybo got the pass. And now we hit the sub-12 media timeout, JD. It's 19-15 Illinois State ahead of the Beach here on 22 West Radio. Long Beach State and Illinois State here in the Beaches home opener of the men's basketball season. It's 19-15 Illinois State ahead, but the Beach keeping this close through the beginning of the first half.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit more about Illinois State and how rare it is that they kept all of their minutes from last year. Aside from their graduating seniors, it really comes down to something their head coach said, Ryan Peden, that struck me while we were researching for this game. He said something that's not talked about enough in the transfer portal era is in what's in the best interest for the kids in the long run. Where are they going to go to homecoming when they're 40? What letter jacket are they going to wear? If you're always moving around, where do you belong? Illinois State, the only team in the Missouri Valley Conference to retain their first team selections, and really they're hoping it pays dividends come March, come madness time. And now they're up by 4 against the Beach in the home opener, playing well, shooting well, hoping to keep this lead throughout the first half.
Chase Walker was the all-MVC first-team selection for the Redbirds last year that stayed put You mentioned as well when we were talking off the air, JD, that Walker had offers for more money elsewhere, but decided to stay here because of the culture. Inbound pass goes to Landon Moore in the backcourt, the new point guard subbed in for the Redbirds. They're ahead by 4, and the bounce pass goes to Kinziger. Swung over to the wing for Wolf. Now it goes down low for Moore. He gives on a bounce to Lieb, and he lays it in right through the glass and through a tight contest of Shea Johnson Jr. Bang bodies up there, but the 7-footer Lieb puts it through. Rob Diaz up at the top for the Beach, gives to Jones. Now to Shea Johnson on the right wing. SDSU transfer, passes to Rob Diaz. Diaz right back to Johnson at the top. 12 to shoot. Johnson, couple of dribbles, now hands off. Jones wraps around, now right at the free throw line. He gives back out to the wing for Dallas Washington. 4 to shoot. Dallas Washington pulls a 3. No good off the front of the rim, and Leib has the rebound.
Yeah, Leib is a tall, physical forward playing center position right now, matched up against Shea Johnson Jr. Redbirds want to punish the paint here.
Kinziger goes to Wolf on the wing, right back to Kinziger, swung over to Moore on the right side. Back up to the top. Here's a 3 for Wolf. No good off the right side of the rim. Diaz has the rebound for the Beach, and now he gets out to run. Diaz hesitates, drives in, kicks out to the wing for Farrell, and now the Beach slow it down. Johnson gives over to Jones. Jones takes it too, but instead passes out of it to Johnson at the top. Pass goes to Diaz. Hesitating, finds Washington, driving baseline with the left hand. Now lost the ball, but tracked it down at the three-point line. Good pressure from the Redbirds here. 6 to shoot, Diaz on the left wing. Goes to the corner, another 3 for Washington. This time it's an air ball, and the ball gets lost out of bounds off the Beach. Dallas Washington over his first 2 from beyond the arc.
Yeah, Dallas Washington, the 4-star recruit coming out of high school, a highly touted prospect, stands 6'10". He can shoot the 3 ball. Not a great start to the game for him, and now Chris Acker takes him out, puts him back on the bench. Back in comes Leopold Levelon and Petar Mastorovic.
Redbirds passing it around in the backcourt. We're halfway through this first half. Wolf spins and gets across the timeline before handing off to Kinziger. Kinziger going to work on Jones. Crosses over, gets a screen on the left side. Still up at the top. Now he gets a switch. Step back. Here's a triple for Kinziger. No good off the front of the rim. Mastorovic with the rebound for the Beach. He gets out quickly and gives back to Diaz. Diaz, spin move, lays it up with the left hand and puts it in. A nice spin and finish from the Cal Poly Humboldt transfer. Rob Diaz with his first 2 points.
Rob Diaz is so shifty in transition. His change of pace and that spin move is what loses every single defender around him. A great lay. The Beach once again down by 4, 21-17.
Up to Lieb. He goes to the corner. Here's a 3 for Wolf. Barely kissed the bottom of the backboard. Not even close on that one. Outlet to Jones on the other side. He Euros, puts it up, and lays it in. Through some contact, Christian Jones with a strong finish, and the Beach have cut the lead to 2.
And now Rob Diaz plays distributor. A great cross-court pass. The vision from Diaz is what has the Beach back in this first half.
Kinziger gets the ball on the right wing for the Redbirds. He gives it on a bounce to Lieb. Lieb almost lost it out of bounds. Now picks up his dribble and moves up to the top for Moore. Moore gets screened on the right side, but instead goes left. He's down in the key now. Picks up his dribble, but had it poked loose. It's a steal for Diaz. Leopold Levelon had the ball, goes to Diaz. Now he pulls the transition 3 and knocks it down. Nothing but nylon for Rob Diaz. He's made an impact since coming off the bench. Hits the 3 in transition, and the Beach are ahead 22-21.
Rob Diaz the third, 6'2", 185. He's an undersized point guard, but he loves to get out and run. The Beach, we've seen it all night long, have slowed the pace down on the offensive end. With Diaz in the game, they're finally able to get their transition game going. Diaz, 5 points, 3 rebounds, and an assist. Long Beach State has now taken the lead 22-21.
A 7-0 run over the last minute for Long Beach State. They're up by 1 as Illinois State called a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here in the Walter Pyramid as the timeout is already about to break. No points in the last 2 minutes and 42 seconds for Illinois State. The Beach have gotten going on the defensive end.
Yeah, basketball is such a game of runs. Long Beach went on a similar run in the first half against Pacific last time out, an 11-1 run that saw them open up a 10-point lead later on in that game against Pacific. They went cold towards the end of the first half and struggled in the second half to maintain that momentum. So coming out of this timeout, the message from Chris Acker has to be keep that energy high, stay in this full court press, and keep beating Rob Diaz. He's the hot hand right now.
Redbirds get it in. Beach still with 3 across the half-court stripe as they press, but then back out of it after a couple passes. Tyreek Coleman back in the game for the Redbirds to run the point. He's crossing over a couple off-ball screens. He keeps it, though. Coleman moves over to the right wing and passes up to the top for Pence. He goes down low for Walker. 1 dribble, strong finish with the left hand. Chase Walker muscles through Leopold Levelon and puts Illinois State back ahead.
And that's a mismatch down low. A few inches separate Levelon and Walker. Redbirds need some offensive consistency. Turn to their big.
23-22. Diaz hands off to Sykes on the right wing. 8 minutes to go in this first half. Sykes with the pass to Levelon, who hands off to Farrell. Farrell screen on the left side. Hesitates, now crosses over. He gets down onto the right block, puts it up through some contact, and it rims out. Walker with the rebound for the Redbirds. Farrell just couldn't knock down the layup. 23-22. Now getting a screen. Kinziger kicks to the corner. Driving baseline. Pence puts it up and puts it through. A nice sprinter from Pence along the baseline. 3-point lead back out for the Redbirds. Farrell on the other side. Gives to Diaz at the top. Diaz crosses over. Gets a screen from Majstorovic and gets a switch. Diaz now ready to go to work on Pence. Crosses over. Gets a screen on the left side. Diaz pulls the triple. No good off the back iron. Walker tracks down the board. Gives the outlet to Coleman. Redbirds across the timeline. Walker sets a screen for Coleman. Driving with the left hand. He gets a jump stop. Passes back out to the top. Now a bounce pass goes down low to Walker. Walker goes to work on Levelon. Getting doubled. Steps through. Puts it up with the left hand. No good. It rolls off. And Levelon has the rebound after a nice defensive stand. Farrell crosses over. Goes to the right corner. Now going baseline. Passes all the way across for Sykes on the other side. He steps through. Floater. No good. Offensive rebound for Levelon. Pounds it once. Gets blocked. Tracks down his another offensive rebound. Back to the basket. Goes to work on Walker. Spin move. Left-handed. Hook. It rims in. The true freshman puts his back to the basket and finishes with the left hand. Coleman fastly on the other side. Layup up and through. Plus a foul. Levelon gets called. Coleman finishes with the layup, and he'll go to the line to try and make it a three-point play.
End-to-end action here in the first half. Long Beach State able to punish Walker, something we're not going to see too often tonight, through Leopold Levelon, the freshman, unafraid of contact. On the other side, Tyrese Coleman, the transfer. One reason he's in the game so much, Bruce, is because he offers a spark in transition. He is so quick, takes it end-to-end, gets the foul, and once again, Illinois State, they were behind briefly, now back ahead, 27-24.
We'll take a quick break as we hit the sub-8 media timeout on 22 West Radio. (27-24) Illinois State ahead of Long Beach State. It's going to be a free throw coming out of the break for Tyreek Coleman after a quick transition bucket. Coming off Leopold Levelon's two-point hook shot. Coleman went coast to coast and laid it in, and now we'll go to the free throw line for one shot.
Yeah, last season, Illinois State lost their primary ball handler. Graduating was Jordan Davis, and alongside him, Dalton Banks, who was their starting point guard. Illinois State has been looking for a solution at the point guard position, and Tyrese Coleman, the transfer, after an explosion for 24 points against Cornell, has now solidified himself in that starting spot. Now he heads to the line trying to add to their lead.
Coleman backed up his 24-point performance against Cornell with 16 against USC last time out. The Redbirds dropped that one by 20 against the Trojans. Free throw up and good for Coleman, so he's had a good start here, up to 5 points. 28-24, Illinois State ahead of the Beach. Rob Diaz still in the game running the point. He's got 5. Passes over on the wing to Bender. Right back to Diaz. He gets a screen. Kicks over to Sykes on the right wing. Beach's leading scorer. Swings over to Bender. Diaz gets it back. About halfway through the shot clock. Bender holding and looking for a pass. Glance over to the bench momentarily. Majstorovic passes to Diaz. Back to Bender. He pulls a long 3. It's good. Shaquille Bender knocks it down. Bender up to 8 points, and the Beach are within 1.
And Chris Acker, after that possession, tells the bench to just calm down, trust the process on the offensive end.
Skunberg gets it across with a pass to Pence. Now Pence kicks to the corner. Here's a triple for Kinziger. He knocks it down. Johnny Kinziger with a good start here. The 5'11" guard already up to 8 points.
Last season, Kinziger shot 28.5% from 3. He's catching fire here in the pyramid.
31-27. Diaz gets a couple screens, and now a foul gets called against DMX. A moving screen, didn't have his feet set all the way up at the top. It was a hard screen and just enough movement to get the whistle.
Yeah, and that screen and roll game, DMX and Rob Diaz, that's a strength of their game when they play together. Rob Diaz as an underside guard needs all the space he can get, and DMX just cannot set his feet.
Shea Johnson will sub in here for DMX, who's got 2 personals. 31-27, Illinois State ahead of the Beach. 5:43 to go in the first half. Coleman in the backcourt, getting double just in front of the stripe. Had it poked loose, now dribbling backwards. Got to get it across, and he dribbles himself. Crosses over, and now a foul gets called before he had a wide open lane to the basket. It's like Bender grabbed him.
Tyrese Coleman is causing all kinds of problems for the Beach, especially when he breaks that press, getting down to the second level. Bender forced to foul. It was a quick call from the official, as you mentioned, Bruce. Clear lane to the basket for Coleman. Had that foul not been called.
Illinois State now in the bonus, so Coleman will step up to the free throw line here. It's a 1-on-1 opportunity. Coleman's first free throw up and good, so he'll get to shoot a second.
Yeah, Illinois State continues to have a lot of success at the line. They're now 8 for 8 from the charity stripe to start this game.
Second free throw here from Coleman. He's at 6 points, 2 for 2 from the line so far. He misses this one short. Gavin Sykes has the rebound for the Beach. The true freshman will keep it himself. 32-27, Illinois State ahead. Sykes crossing over on the right wing. Johnson comes up to the top, gets a pass, goes down low for Majstorovic, and a foul gets called before Petar Majstorovic was going to have an open layup. Instead, the defender down there for the Redbirds grabbed him. So Skunberg gets a foul. Beach still keep the ball.
Yeah, Skunberg, that's his second foul. He's going to sub out. Illinois State's going to want him in the game late on, and with him in foul trouble and the Beach approaching the bonus, Illinois State not going to take any chances.
Inbound pass goes to Johnson. He hands right back to Diaz. Diaz moves through the key, puts it up and through. A hook shot as he fell out of bounds. Scooped it up off the glass. Rob Diaz, a heck of a finish. Beach within 3.
Rob Diaz now didn't start this game. Now up to 7 points. The Beach continue to threaten, down 29-32.
Redbirds pass it around. Peds has the ball across the timeline and gives right back to Kinziger. Under 5 minutes to go in the first half. Kinziger goes on the right wing over to Coleman. Now pass goes to Doherty. Pence gets it. Drives into the short corner on the left side. Drives, now kicks to the wing. Doherty pulls the triple and knocks it down. Rims around and falls. It's a 3 for Illinois State, and they're back ahead by 6.
Jack Doherty in his sophomore season going to want to be seeing a lot more of him if you're an Illinois State fan. A great three-point shooter.
Bender looking back, now pulls a mid-range shot. It's off the top of the backboard. Holy cow, that was not even close. Kinziger across the timeline for the Redbirds. Pass goes to the corner. Coleman drives baseline. Up and under. He missed the layup. Offensive rebound, though, for Pence. Gets it back into Walker. Walker goes to the corner. Here's a triple for Pence, and he knocks it down. Redbirds with a second chance bucket. They've extended their lead out to 9.
Illinois State now 4 for their last 4 from the field. The Beach need a bucket, their largest deficit of the night so far.
And now Chris Acker will call timeout. It's a 38-29 lead for Illinois State, and we'll step away on 22 West Radio. Redbirds send Long Beach into a timeout on a 6-0 run over the last 38 seconds. It's 38-29, Illinois State ahead of the Beach in Long Beach State's home opener.
Yeah, Rob Diaz stays on the floor for Long Beach State. He's still at the point guard position. Isaiah Lewis, the leading minutes producer for this team, still on the bench coming out of this timeout.
Diaz gets the inbound pass from Majstorovic. 20 seconds on the shot clock, goes up to the top for Sykes. Hands right back to Diaz, gets a screen, dribbles over and passes back up to the top. Sykes hesitates. Long two is off the front iron and no good. Walker tracks down a long rebound for the Redbirds. They'll have a chance to extend their lead out to double digits here. It's Coleman just in front of the Long Beach logo at center court. Sykes defending. Coleman gives a pass on a bounce to Walker. He takes one bounce and hands off to Kinziger. Swung over to Pence in the short corner on the right side. Pence back to the basket, goes to work on Rob Diaz. He's got the height advantage. Pence, mid-range, fadeaway, no good, barely kissed the front of the rim, and Diaz has the rebound.
Great defense from Diaz, just pushes him out of the way, not the shot he wanted.
Diaz gets a screen, and now a foul gets called against Doherty. There's a screen from Johnson. Just barely had his feet set there. It's close to being another moving screen for the Beach. They've already been whistled on that once here, but it'll be Beach ball from the sideline.
Long Beach State still down 38-29, their largest deficit of the night. 3.5 to go here in the first half, hoping to close the gap for halftime.
Redbirds bringing back in Brandon Lieb, the 7'1" graduate student. Lieb is one of two graduate students on this Redbirds roster. Lieb and also Bowden Skunberg, their 6th-year college basketball players. Rob Diaz gets a couple screens, dribbles over into the key. Another scoop layup, no good this time, but a second chance is up and through for Shea Johnson in the same action. Went up and high-pointed the offensive rebound and then laid it right back in.
Johnson right over Lieb. Two bigs going at it, deficit only 7.
Johnson at 6'10", out-jumps the 7-footer. Nice finish there. Pence on the other side for the Redbirds, 38-31. Lieb gets the pass up at the top, hands off to Kinziger. He dribbles right in, scoop layup off the glass and no good. He fell down out of bounds. Here's a 5-on-4 for the Beach. Majstorovic trying to go coast to coast. Spin move up and no good off the front. Second chance, he missed it again. Majstorovic got his own offensive rebound, but couldn't put it through on the second chance. Coleman on the other side. He steps back, takes the triple, plenty of space. No good off the front of the rim though, and Sykes has the rebound for the Beach.
Great rebound that time from Sykes, and now he'll slow down the pace. Long Beach State has the advantage now. Need to capitalize on this little bit of momentum.
Diaz gets the ball for Long Beach State and slows it down, a torrid pace through those last couple of possessions. Diaz gets a screen, now his pass deflected. Johnson trying to track it down. It falls out of bounds off the Redbirds. Johnson looked like he got hit up high there. Ball will stay with Long Beach State from the baseline.
Yeah, and out goes Rob Diaz. What a shift he put in. 7 points in 11 minutes. Off goes Shea Johnson Jr. as well. So back in comes the starting point guard, Lewis and DMX. So a new look here with 2 minutes to go here in the first half.
Both teams are going to head to their benches here. The Redbirds were immediately expressing their discontent with the call, so it looks like this one is being looked at. 2 minutes, 8 seconds to go in this first half. Illinois State ahead 38-31 on 22 West Radio. So the review is going to be overturned, so the ball will go to the Redbirds after it deflected out of bounds. 38-31, Illinois State ahead of Long Beach State here in the Walter Pyramid. Beach rocking their all-gold jerseys in their home opener. Inbound pass goes to Coleman. Beach still have 3 in the backcourt as they're pressing. Coleman swings it over to Skunberg in the backcourt. Skunberg gets doubled as he breaks the press and gives a bounce pass to Claybo. Now he looks for a pass. Claybo gives it on a bounce to Lieb and then gets it right back. Claybo hesitates in the short corner on the right side, puts his back to the basket, and now passes up to Doherty, ranging to the top. He passes to Lieb, who gets fouled as he was cutting to the basket. Good pass from Doherty, and now the Redbirds will go to the free throw line.
Yeah, Shaq Bender forced into the foul. He's just 6'2", working against the 7-footer. Just make sure Lieb can't get his arms up. Easy call for the officials to make. Denies an easy layup and forces Lieb to the line.
It'll be 2 shots for Brandon Lieb, a graduate student in his 6th year of college hoops. First shot, high arcing and missing off the front of the rim. Lieb is in his 2nd season with this Redbirds program, but missed all of last year due to an injury. Previously had been playing at Illinois since the 2020 season. Lieb's 2nd free throw is through, so it's 1 for 2 on that trip to the line for the 7'1" forward. Isaiah Lewis takes the ball across for Long Beach State. It's an 8-point lead for Illinois State. Lewis gets a screen from Majstorovic. Instead, passes over to Sykes on the right wing. Gives right back to Lewis. Now to Majstorovic right at the free throw line. He pump fakes a couple times, couple bounces, steps through the key, up and under, layup is through. Peter Majstorovic with a nice finish and good work in the paint to get himself some space.
Yeah, really good work from Majstorovic, and Beach continue to press here. Just over a minute to go in the first half.
Coleman across the timeline here. Guarding him is Farrell. Dribbles over to the right wing and finds Lieb cutting up to the top. Lieb hands off to Claybo. Claybo gives it over to Skunberg. Doherty rolling to the top. Instead, Skunberg gets a couple screens, drives over to the middle. Skunberg now steps back. Long 2 as he's fading away. No good off the back iron. Farrell with the rebound. Under a minute to go. Farrell tripped, but able to keep his handle. Drives over towards the right corner. Now going baseline. He passes to the left corner. Lewis will bring it up to the top for Majstorovic. Swung over to Sykes. Sykes now drives. He goes up with a floater off the glass. It's no good. DMX was way up there, but as the ball rolled around, he couldn't touch it. Rebound for Coleman. He moves right across. Coleman gives back. Here's a triple pulled by Claybo. He knocks it down. Nothing but net for Mason Claybo. The freshman has a triple, and Illinois State's ahead by 9.
24 seconds here. The shot clock is off. The Beach are going to hold for the last possession here, Bruce.
20 seconds exactly on the game clock. Isaiah Lewis dribbling on the Long Beach center court logo. Now puts his back to Coleman as he provides some pressure. 12 seconds. DMX sets a screen on the left side. Lewis goes up to the top for Majstorovic. He pulls the 3 with 8 to go. It barely kisses the right side. Offensive rebound, and the shot is missing, but it's a foul. DMX with the offensive rebound, and then he gets hacked as he goes up trying to put it in. It'll be 2 shots from the free throw line for DMX.
Yeah, we thought Long Beach State was going to run out the clock as long as they could, and Petar Majstorovic found himself alone at the top of the key, let one fly way offline. DMX, great work to get inside leverage on the offensive rebound. Now he'll head to the line. Long Beach State still down by 9, 33-42.
Xaviero is the only returner for Long Beach State. Still looking to get on the board in this one. 6 minutes on the floor. Xaviero's first free throw, no good. It rims out. It's a 9-point lead, 5.1 to go in this first half. Illinois State ahead 42-33.
Long Beach State is going to sub out Lewis and Majstorovic, bring in some size. Back in comes Dallas Washington Jr. to try to get an offensive rebound, a quick putback if this free throw from DMX is offline.
Xaviero's second free throw is good, so it's 1 for 2 on the trip to the line for the forward. Inbound pass goes to Coleman right in the backcourt. He dribbles fast across the timeline. He's going to get a 3 up before the buzzer, but it's no good. Just barely hit the front of the rim. Coleman had some space, but can't knock it down, and both teams will head into the halftime break. 42-34, Illinois State ahead.
Yeah, Illinois State went on a run there late in the first half, Bruce, and Long Beach State, towards the very, very end, was able to stop the bleeding and get this back to a manageable deficit. Both teams finished in the bonus. A very physical first half, but also a very clean first half. Just 2 turnovers for Long Beach State, 1 for Illinois State. And we go into the break with the Redbirds ahead, 42-34.
Illinois State shoots an even 50% from the field, 14 for 28 in that first half, and limited Long Beach to only 2 free throw attempts. Those 2 from DMX were the first time the Beach had gone to the line all day long. 42-34, Illinois State ahead, and we'll step away for the halftime break. We'll see you in 14 minutes here on 22 West Radio. Second half getting underway momentarily between Long Beach State and Illinois State in the Beach men's basketball home opener here at the Walter Pyramid. Bruce Kuntz, JayDe Beaudry live on the airwaves. JayDe, the Beach trailing by 8, but there were still a lot of things to like about that first half, especially in individual performances like Rob Diaz.
Yeah, Long Beach State started this game hot from three-point range. 2 for their first 2, 3 for their first 4, but it was Illinois State who made the first one with about 9 minutes into that first half. Went on a brief 6-0 run, and the introduction of Rob Diaz certainly changed the trajectory of that first half. 7.3 rebounds and an assist in 11 minutes of action. Really the difference maker for this Long Beach State team, and look for him to be the catalyst in the second half as they continue to close the gap.
Shaquille Bender leading the way for the Beach with 8 points. He's 2 for 3 from beyond the arc. So the Beach trailing by 8. They'll need to make a comeback to get their first win of the year, but Illinois State shot efficiently from the field, 14 for 28 overall. Both teams at 5 for 12 from beyond the arc, so good three-point shooting and a high-scoring first half. We'll see if that trend continues here into the second half of play. Petar Majstorovic heading out on the floor once again for the Beach. We'll see if he can get involved. Last game out against Pacific was not his best, and he still hasn't completely found his stride with the Beach.
Yeah, aside from that opening night double-double he posted against San Diego State, we really haven't seen Majstorovic contribute much on the offensive end. Yes, he's great on the glass. He can pull down rebounds, but Long Beach will need him at the small forward position in the second half to really make something happen. This is going to be a physical second half. We came into this game knowing that the points in the paint were going to be big and that the matchup between the bigs was going to determine the outcome. So far tonight, though, it's the guards who've been showing up and providing most of the scoring. Majstorovic ready to inbound here to get the second half underway.
It's the Beach possession to get the second half going. 42-34, Illinois State ahead of Long Beach State. Inbound pass goes into Isaiah Lewis, rocking the long sleeve, gold sleeves. Majstorovic gets a pass, now goes to the short corner. Now it's down low for Levelon. Back to the basket. He takes a couple dribbles. Pump fake, spin, left-handed hook. He gets a foul. Misses off the front of the rim. Chase Walker had his arms straight up in the air, but gets whistled for shifting to basketball. Standing 6'9". Second free throw, rims in. Colin Farrell almost had a lane violation, but was able to swing his arms around and keep his feet behind the line just long enough. 42-35. Redbirds ahead of the Beach. They're crossing the timeline here. Skunberg with the ball for Illinois State. He goes over to the left wing for Coleman. Coleman gives up top for Pence. Pence one dribble, now gives it on a bounce down low. The layup up and through for Bowden Skunberg. Got the pass and had some space off a pump fake. He lays it in. Gavin Sykes on the other side for the Beach. It's back out to a 9-point lead for the Redbirds. Sykes hesitates, now drives over towards the baseline and gives out to Levelon. Hands right back. Sykes gets a screen. Now puts up a floater as he cuts to the basket. It takes a couple bounces off the rim and misses. Rebound for Skunberg of the Redbirds. He gets a screen from Walker. Passes out to the wing. It's picked off. Majstorovic on the ground. It's tipped around. Lewis dives. He's got the ball. Now he passes over to Majstorovic. Right down to Sykes. He goes up through contact and gets a foul. Gavin Sykes couldn't put it through, and he's down on the ground in dismay. Thought he could have had a three-point play. Nonetheless, it'll be 2 free throws for Gavin Sykes off a crazy sequence. Believe the steal will still be credited to Majstorovic after the ball rolled around forever.
Yeah, great hustle there from Isaiah Lewis. That's what you want from your point guard, chasing down every loose ball. Long Beach gets to Majstorovic at the top of the key, down to the block for Sykes, and Gavin Sykes has not had the best scoring night to this point. Just 2 for 8 from the field, 5 points on his line, coming off of a 20-point explosion against Pacific.
Sykes came into the game leading the Beach in scoring. It's a true freshman, 3-star recruit, according to ESPN, number 23 prospect in his class from California. A couple bounces off the front of the rim and a miss on his first free throw.
Yeah, Long Beach State now just 2 for 5 on free throw attempts. Illinois State 9 for 11. These free points going to be important down the stretch.
Sykes makes the second one. So Gavin Sykes up to 6 points tonight. It's an 8-point lead for Illinois State. Beach pressing again, but they're able to break it. Right across the timeline, Bowden Skunberg, the graduate student, gets a screen from Walker. Drives over to his right into the paint. Through contact, he missed the layup, but gets fouled. He chucked it up and couldn't even catch a piece of the rim, but enough contact will send Skunberg to the line.
Yeah, Bowden Skunberg, we've seen him as the primary ball handler here in the second half. That's really going to free up Johnny Kinziger on the wing. Kinziger would much rather be a spot-up shooter than the ball handler, so a different look offensively for Illinois State to start this second half.
First free throw, no good for Skunberg. Illinois State now 9 for 12 from the free throw line today. The Pyramid getting loud for the second free throw, and it's good. Not a huge crowd here at the Walter Pyramid today on a Sunday, but still a decent showing for As I said, a midday game on a Sunday. Usually these are the ones that are empty. Here's Majstorovic, couple pivots in the paint, and he gets fouled. So all of a sudden, the whistles are plentiful here in this second half. Minute and a half off the game clock, and it's going to be 2 free throws for Majstorovic.
And that foul's going to go against Landon Wolf, the 6'5", 210 guard, playing down low against Majstorovic. A lot of minutes in the first few games for Wolf, 25 minutes or more in those first 2. Haven't seen him too much tonight.
And he missed the first free throw strong off the back iron. So the Beach are struggling from the...
He's able to get down, become an option in the paint. And once again, he's able to get down, become an option in the paint. And once again, he's at the line, inviting the contact from Walker. That's now his second foul. Jason Walker, we mentioned just how important fouls are to him and how important it is to keep him out of foul trouble for Illinois State. Now his second personal tonight.
Both those personals happening within the last 2 minutes of play. First free throw good for Leopold Levelon. There's another great play on defense from Majstorovic, who has a steal and a block already less than 2 minutes into the second half. Levelon takes his sweet time. Now the second free throw up and through. So he rights the ship and goes 2 for 2 on that trip to the line. 45-38, Illinois State ahead of the Beach. Long Beach still pressing, but Skundberg breaks it. Farrell guarding him tightly as Skundberg dribbles over on the left wing, trying to get it to Coleman, and then eventually does on a bounce. Coleman crosses over a couple times, gets a screen on the right side. Lewis fighting through it. He rolls over, now passes up to the top. It's tipped by Majstorovic. Wolf crossed the timeline, but they don't call a backcourt violation. Pass goes over to Skundberg. He pulls the 3. No good, and Sykes has the rebound. The Beach bench went crazy wanting a turnover there. It's a miss nonetheless. Sykes has the ball up at the top. Majstorovic sets a screen on the right side. Sykes drives in, puts it up off the glass and through. Gavin Sykes, the true freshman, with a strong finish. Beach are back within 5.
Yeah, Sykes has found his touch, and the Beach are trying to get downhill as fast as possible in every position, really speeding up the pace of this game. 17 minutes to go in the second half.
Coleman passes up to the top for Kinziger. Kinziger drives over to the right wing, now brings it back out. Drives into the key again, gives to Coleman. He drives right through. Layup is up, and it rolls in. Nice finish from another true freshman, Tyreek Coleman. He's up to 8 points tonight. 7-point lead again for Illinois State. Isaiah Lewis handling the ball right on the logo. Majstorovic sets a screen on the right side. They get a switch. It's Wolf now guarding Lewis, but the pass goes to Levelon. Back to the basket. He backs down Walker. Lost it along the baseline, but tracked it down. Pass goes back up to Sykes at the top. 10 to shoot. Sykes gets a screen. Finds Levelon right at the free throw line. He steps through, goes up through contact, and puts it in. Levelon just flipped that one up there as he was falling out of bounds. It manages to fall. 5-point lead for Illinois State.
Levelon looks off Majstorovic in the corner and puts up a circus shot. The Beach as close as they've been all night long here in the second half. 47-42 Redbirds.
Coleman moves over to the top, dribbling from the left wing. Now finds Kinziger rolling. He pump fakes, has a defender fly by, and then puts it in off the glass. Gavin Sykes got way up in the air. Nice pump fake from Kinziger, and then he finishes with 2. Lewis gets a screen at the top for the Beach, dribbles up to the right block, and passes back out for Farrell at the top. Farrell drives with the left hand, now hesitates, gets a screen on the right side, drives into the key, picks up his dribble right on the right block. He's pivoting a couple times now, passes up to the top. It's tipped, and it's stolen by Johnny Kinziger. He gives that to Coleman, who lays it up and in transition. The Beach with a turnover, and it's back out to a 9-point lead for the Redbirds.
That's costly for Long Beach State, and Farrell just lost Coleman in transition. An easy bucket, an easy layup for the Redbirds.
Sykes gets a handoff on the right wing, gives the Levelon at the top. He goes for a cutter. Farrell, it gets tipped. Farrell tracks it down along the baseline and gets a pass up to the top as he fell out. Levelon gives over to Lewis. Lewis takes a fadeaway midi and knocks it down. Good shot there from Lewis right at the free throw line. Still a 7-point lead for Illinois State. Once again, the Beach force Skundberg to take it up. Pressure Coleman, but then Skundberg bounces it right over to Coleman. The true freshman dribbles with the left hand, hands off to Kinziger. He takes a midi, got fouled, and it's in! Johnny Kinziger hits the mid-range shot plus some contact. He'll have a chance for a 3-point play.
Johnny Kinziger through the contact on the elbow. Lewis, after putting in his first points of the night, commits the foul. And the Redbirds, as Long Beach State tried to threaten, tried to build up a bit of momentum, have slammed the door shut, up 53-44.
We hit the media timeout, first one of the second half. Illinois State will have a free throw after the break to try and extend their lead to 10. 53-44, Redbirds ahead on 22 West Radio. 53-44, Illinois State ahead of Long Beach State. It's going to be a free throw coming out of the timeout here for Johnny Kinziger, trying to complete his three-point play.
Yeah, and you can bet on Johnny Kinziger knocking this one down. An 87% free throw shooter in his career. That's the 14th highest in all of Division I basketball.
He's a knockdown shooter from the free throw line. Kinziger has established himself as the backcourt leader for this Illinois State team. Last year was second team all MVC, and this year already averaging 14 points per game heading into today. Kinziger with 12 so far, and his free throw up and good, so bring his total to 13. He completes the three-point play, and the Redbirds are out to a 10-point lead. Rob Diaz subbed back in for Long Beach to run the point. Diaz crossing over on the logo. Exaviero clears out. Diaz on the right wing picks up his dribble. Now getting pressured, needs to find a pass and gets to Exaviero. Hands right back. Diaz gets a screen on the right side. He spins. Exaviero with space on the wing. He taps it over to Bender. Almost lost the ball. Now Bender holds a triple and he knocks it down. Shaq Bender with a quick trigger there. Knocks down the three. Beach cut the lead to 7.
And Shaq Bender saves what was a broken possession. DMX and Rob Diaz not in sync there at the top of the key.
It's Pence, handling the ball for the Redbirds. He gives off to Coleman. Off the ball movement, Coleman picks up his dribble, now calls for Wolf to come up and get it. He gives right back. Coleman gets a screen on the left side, drives into the right block. Diaz gets back there, and he brings back out to the wing. Pass goes over to Kissinger. He drives. He puts it up. No good off the back iron. Exaviero tracks down the rebound off the Kissinger miss. On the other side, here's Shaquille Bender. Peels back out. Here's Exaviero pulling a three. No good off the front of the rim and flying in. Landon Wolf has the rebound.
Yeah, Derek Michael Exaviero wide open, yes, but not the shot you want from your center.
Kinziger across the timeline for the Redbirds. Gets a screen on the left side. Finds his roller. The center up. And he missed the layup. Brandon Live couldn't knock it down. Jones on the other side. Gets a screen from Exaviero to the corner for Kinziger. Goes right back to Coleman. He drives, lays it up with the right hand. It's through, plus a foul. It's going to be another chance for three for the Redbirds. The true freshman Tyreek Coleman with another strong finish.
And it was Derek Michael Exaviero going to commit the foul. DMX goes up, puts two hands on the glass, and gets in Coleman's landing space. An easy call for the officials to make, and DMX not having a great night to this point. Just 1 point on 0 of 2 shooting. Only pulled down 2 rebounds on 8 minutes of action.
Tyreek Coleman, the first MVC Freshman of the Week award winner of the season, knocks down the free throw. He's got a three-point play. It's 57-47, Illinois State ahead of the Beach. Rob Diaz running the offense for Long Beach State. Beach have hit 4 of their last 5 shots from the field. Bender gives over to Diaz at the top, gets it right back. Shaq Bender, quick trigger. This one misses. Masturovic flew in from way beyond the arc and was able to tap it out of bounds off of the Redbirds.